Yo, I'm back with another one. I'm about to show you how you can tap into your natural magic by using your five senses. Touch, smell, taste, and sight. This is how you tap into the eternal angel, Ashe. Now, I'm going to go into this book out of the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon. The Magical Books of Solomon, the Greater and Lesser Keys, and the Testament of Solomon. Page 189. The initiated interpretation of ceremonial magic. It is lofty amusing to the student of magical literature, who is not quite a fool, and rare is such a combination, to note the criticism directed by the Philistine against the citadel of his science. Truly, since our brotherhood has ingrained into us not only literal belief in the Bible, but also substantial belief in Alf Lela wa Lela, and only adolescence can cure us. We are only too liable in the rush and energy of dawning manhood to overturn roughly and rashly both these classics, to regard them both on the same level as interesting documents from the standpoint of folklore and anthropology, and as nothing more. Even when we learn that the Bible, by a profound and minute study of the text, may be forced to yield up Kabbalistic arcana of cosmic scope and importance, we are too often slow to apply a similar restorative to the companion volume, even if we are the luck holders of Burton's veritable edition. To me, then, it remains to raise the Alf Lela wa Lela into its proper place once more. Let's do it. Alf Lela wa Lela, it means 1,001 nights. I am not concerned to deny the objective reality of all magical phenomena. If they are illusions, they are at least as real as many unquestioned facts of daily life. And if we follow Herbert Spencer, they are at least evidence of some cause. Now, this fact is our base. What is the cause of my illusion of seeing a spirit in the triangle of art? Every expert in psychology will answer that cause lies in your brain. English children pace the Education Act are taught that the universe lies in infinite space. Hindu children in the Akasha, which is the same thing. Those Europeans who go a little deeper learn from Fichte that the phenomenal universe is the creation of the ego. Hindus or European study under Hindu gurus are told that by Akasha is meant the Chitakasa. The Chitakasa is situated in the third eye, pineal, in the brain. By assuming higher dimensions of space, we can assimilate this fact to realism, but we have no need to take so much trouble. This being true for the ordinary universe, that all sense impressions are dependent on change in the brain. we must include illusions, which are, after all, sense impressions as much as realities are in the class of phenomena dependent on brain changes. Magical phenomenon, however, comes under a special subclass. Since they are willed and their cause is the series of real phenomena called the operations of ceremonial magic, these consist of 5 things. Number 1 is sight. Number 2 is sound. Number 3 is smell. Number 4 is taste. And number 5 is touch. Number 4 again is taste, which is the sacraments. Now, as under 1, 6 is mind. The combination of all these and reflection on their significance. These unusual impressions, 1 through 5, produce unusual brain changes. Hence, their summary 6 is of unusual kind. Its projection back into the apparently phenomenal world is therefore unusual. Herein then consists the reality of the operations and effects of ceremonial magic. And I conceive that the apology is ample as far as the effects refer only to those phenomena which appear to the magician himself, the appearance of the spirit, his conversation, possible shocks from imprudence, and so on, even to ecstasy on the one hand and death or madness on the other. But can any of the effects described in this our book Gotya be obtained? And if so, can you give a rational explanation of the circumstances? Say you so. I can and will. The spirits of the Gotya are portions of the human brain. I gotta tell people all the time, it's the eternal angels. You tap into these things by thought forms, meditation, stillness, concentration, and, just your belief, and tuning out all the background noise. It says, the spirits of the Gotya are portions of the human brain. Their seal, therefore, represents Mr. Spencer's projected cube. Now, when you get a seal or a pinnacle means something that is an intention, an affirmation, or prayer that describes something and is summed down into a symbol. What triggers that intention or that entity or that force of nature to be activated. Spirits of the Gotya are portions of the human brain. Their seals therefore represent Mr. Spencer's projected cube, methods of stimulating or regulating those particular spots through the eye. Focusing. The names of God are vibrations calculated to establish. This last video I just uploaded talks about those sound vibrational frequencies, and certain names and chants, when you say them, they activate other things. Now, listen to that again. The names of God are vibrations calculated to establish A. General control of the brain. Establishment of functions relative to the subtile world. Subtile meaning the subconscious, When we're awake, we're in the conscious world. When we're asleep, we're in the subconscious world. Or we go to the astral plane. You ever heard of astral projecting? Or when you come outside of your body? Well, it's an old saying when they say a witch is riding your back, it feels like something's holding you down. You're conscious and aware, but it feels like your whole body is paralyzed and you can't move. Most people panic and freak out, so their soul actually comes back into their body. And a lot of people panic because they don't understand or comprehend the feelings, so they might think like, oh, I'm dying right now. Basically, I can't move. I can hear everything, see everything around me, but I can't move. You freak out, and normally you'll go back in your body. But if you stay real still in that moment, normally you will astral project kind of experience with most people that have NDEs, near-death experiences. They say that they come out their body. They seen doctors operating on them. They're hovering over their body. They can see up, down, side to side without even turning their heads. They're consciously aware because they're lighter. They're not into their body form anymore of that dense form. They are in their energy state or their etheric state. And this is a form of astral projection, but people also go through this during near-death experience. They said that at the moment of death that there's a dopamine that goes off within the body that triggers hallucinations, so they say. They said it's the same as if you was taking a trip on mushrooms, but when you take mushrooms or certain psychedelics, they basically unlock certain portions of your brain that are dormant or already locked. So these things already occur. They can happen in a natural way, That's why during certain ceremonies and rituals, certain things are used to enhance certain things, So I said the names of God are vibrations calculated to establish A, general control of the brain, establishment of function relative to the subtile world, subconscious. B, control over the brain in detail, rank or type of spirit. C, control of one special portion, name of the spirit, the perfumes. Now these are the incense, or what they would call them the magical arts, is fomentations. The perfumes aid through smell. Usually the perfume will only tend to control a large area, but there is an attribution of perfumes to letters of the alphabet, enabling one by Kabbalistic formula to spell out the spirit's name, to spell out the spirit's name. I told you, there's key things that trigger stuff in sounds. When you say certain sounds or vowels or consonants that will unlock stuff based upon how you feel in your vibration, your frequency that you are emitting, has an effect on your aurora, your energy field that's around you. And most importantly, you have 7 chakras going through your body that are spinning in circular motion as a vortex of 360 degrees. And they're like, when you're feeling a certain way, they trigger certain energy fields. Your root chakra being bred, dealing with survival and security. Your sacral chakra, which is orange, it deals with passion and creativity. You do creative things with sexual organs. And then you have your solar plex chakra, which is yellow. It deals with personal power and confidence. That's that eternal sun, that halo, that light. That's why you see all these pictures of spiritual beings and teachers with a candle or halo around them. But that is the eternal sun. That's Helios, where you get Helios Biblios, which means light ray. That's why when you see the Egyptians in their culture, you see Amen-Ra, you'll see the sun, but it's not worshiping the sun. It's just a part of God's creation. And the sun is the life giver, and it is our central star in our solar system. Solar, soul, Ra, soul, eternal soul. Then you have your heart chakra, which is green. It deals with love. Green is also the color of the earth. Green is also the color of pure ether, like you will see in the northern lights, known as the aurora borealis. And when you rearrange the word ether, you get the word heart. And when you rearrange the word heart, you get the word earth. They all go hand in hand. Then you got your throat chakra, which is blue. It deals with communications, wrath, or kindness. So if you look at the last video that I just posted talking about sounds, she tells you about these sounds, how they can trigger something negative, they can be constructive, or they can be destructive. So the throat chakra deals with communications, wrath, or kindness. You could uplift somebody with your words, or you could bring somebody down. You could also lower your own vibration with negativity, or you could raise the frequency in a room when you walk in and uplift everybody else's expressions that might be sad and sobbing and down and out, but your energy and essence just comes and illuminates the room, and then everything shifts and changes, the whole momentum, Then you got your next chakra, which is your third eye chakra, which is kind of like a purple indigo, which deals with, intuition. Intuition is your eternal essence. Your eternal essence deals with abilities beyond the physical realm. It's called your third eye because it's your spiritual eye, which takes you to the subtile world or the subconscious, because this is what allows you to see things or images in your head when your eyes is closed, or even dream, because you are in the subconscious world via third eye, pineal. Jacob wrestled with an angel, and his name was changed to Israel. He named that place pineal because God is eternal and inward. That is the portal and the gateway. And then you have your crown chakra, where you see the halos over the angels, that you get your ultraviolet rays. You ever heard that from the sun? This is the highest color in the spectrum. That's why if you watch Marvel's Infinity Wars, you'll see that Thanos, he was violet. He was the highest color of awareness, which also he was getting different stones that was giving him different abilities, kind of like 12 tribes. Each stone signifies one of the tribes, and just like the New Jerusalem that's in the sky, that the streets are paved in gold, and each entrance has the color, a different crystal, 4 sides, 3 entrances on each of one of the 4 quarters, and each one has a different stone. It gets real deep, but back to this. See control of one special portion, name of spirit. The perfumes aid this through smell. Usually the perfumes will only tend to control a large area, but there is an attribution of perfumes to the letters of the alphabet, enabling one by Kabbalistic formula to spell out the spirit's name. It says here, I need not enter into more particular discussion of these points. The intelligent reader can easily fill in what is lacking. If then I say with Solomon, the spirit Semiramis teaches logic. What I mean is those portions of my brain which subverts the logical faculty may be stimulated and developed by following out the process called the invocation of Semiramis. And this is a purely materialistic, rational statement, and it is independent of only objective hierarchy at all. Philosophy has nothing to say, and science can only suspend judgment pending a proper and methodical investigation of the facts alleged. Unfortunately, we cannot stop there. Solomon promises us that we can 1. Obtain information, 2. Destroy our enemies, 3. Understand the voices of nature, 4. Obtain treasures, 5. Heal diseases, etc. I have taken these 5 powers at random. Considerations of space forbid me to explain all. 1. Bring up facts from subconsciousness. Remember, I was just talking about that. 2. Here we come to an interesting fact. It is curious to note the contrast between the noble means and the apparently vile ends of magical rituals. The later are disguised for sublime truths. To destroy our enemies is to realize the illusion of duality. Duality is also polarity. I told you everything is one and the same. There's no difference. There's only difference in the degrees of how it's set up. Good, bad, male, female. The only difference is the degrees, Same thing, just opposing forces and the opposite in nature, but one and the same. Only difference is degrees. Teaches you that in the 7 Hermetic Principles. It says duality to excite compassion. Mr. Wait, the world of magic is a mirror wherein who sees muck is muck. Well, the world of magic is a mirror because everything, when you're dealing with moon phases, the moon, you know that the tides of the water always change when the moon comes out. What is water? A reflector. So if you're doing chants or certain prayers or rituals, certain time of the day, or on the moon phase, that's what they would call, you would call that considerably moon spells or moon magic. All this is basically doing what it told you up front here, that understanding basically the voices of nature, is the patterns in nature, just as well as the seasons, the days, it's good because the month is based off of moon cycles. You see, even a woman's period is based off of moon cycles. If you notice, most women they will get their thing around the same time of the month. And they might not even know each other from a can of paint, but it's just something in the elements, is that magic, or is that just a pattern in nature that you can capitalize, you can predict when it's going to come, so you can take measures, certain things like cinnamon, taking a red Persian onion and boiling it in wine to take the cramps right away. The same as using cinnamon and certain mixing elements. I have a book called the 6th and 7th Book of Moses. It shows you how to cure certain things with certain elements. It's very key and vital. 3, a careful naturalist will understand much from the voices of animals he has studied long. Even a child knows the difference of a cat's meowing and purring. The faculty may be greatly developed. 4, business capacity may be stimulated. 5, abnormal states of the body may be corrected and the involved tissues brought back to tone in obedience to currents started from the brain. That's why I told you, these positive vibrations, energy. Somebody can lay hands on you. If their vibration is strong enough and they do stuff in the proper settings, you will be healed. The Messiah even told you in the Bible, said, you will be able to perform the things in which I have and work even greater wonders. Even told you, if you tell that mountain to move, that it will move. You just have to have this faith of a mustard seed. A lot of people frown upon this, but the whole Bible deals with magic from Moses in Egypt to, Messiah casting demons out into a pig, trying to water the wine, all of these different things. It was dealing with kind of magic, magneticism, It says abnormal states of the body may be corrected and the involved tissues may be brought back to tone in obedience to the current started from the brain. You ever heard of people, they talk about sound healing, where they go in these chambers or they go into solitude and they listen to sounds, they be fasting. When you're fasting, your body is killing the parasites. If you add this certain herbs like wormwood, pumpkin seeds, or, wormwood, pumpkin seeds, you can use soursop, you can use, a variety of different bitter herbs. Burdock root that cleanse the blood, ginger to make the blood circulate, turmeric for anti-inflammatory, That's why the Bible will tell you, said, take heed in the herbs of the earth for the healings of the nations. And then it also tells you in the first, book of Genesis, first couple chapters, that how we use the fruits and, the things of a tree that grew from nature, because we have organs. In order for us to heal our organs, we got to eat whole organic foods. In order for us to be holy, we have to be whole. We can't be partial. We can't be separated. We have to be one, within our own self. So for all the other phenomena, there is no effect which is truly necessary and miraculous. Our ceremonial magic binds down run to a series of minute, though of course empirical psychological experiments, and whoso will carry these through intelligently need not fear the results. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But this, I was just reading that last part, the whole page is just lit up, just with orbs. This happens a lot when I'm reading, or I'm in a quiet place, or I'm feeling a certain type of way, the pages on books, they light up. You know, stuff like y'all see in movies that really happen. You will literally see, sometimes you even see words be scrambled and rearranged and moved. It's very real thing, you know. Does that have something to do with a certain part of your brain, or concentrating with your eyes a certain way, or just feeling and believing that what you were reading is true and you were part of the all and the all is a part of you? Like I said I am a part of the all is a part of me. I am one with all is one with me. I can succeed as a part of all and failure as an individual. I could be all that I wish in all as long as my wishes sustain within all. I am never alone. All is, I am. All can, I can. All does, I do. I say, so mote it be.